People have all kinds of reasons for going meatless for some meals, but sometimes it's hard to know what to make that doesn't have meat as the centerpiece. Well, Hy-Vee dietitian Katie Schaeffer has some good ideas to get you started because, you know, we're a meat-centered society sometimes, aren't we?
That is usually where people's brains go when you say the entree. My husband says if there's not meat at the meal, he's probably not going to eat it.
Oh, your husband's a man. Yes,
yes, he is.
I recognize that attitude. I love what you made in the crock pot today. So I want to start at this end because it's a soup, it's a stew, it's all that.
So it's kale, bean, and quinoa soup. So it's got quite the name.
And it's, I just had a bite. And
yeah.
I love it because I love all these different kinds of beans.
It's a very hearty soup.
So this is the kind of thing where you just put, you know, dump a bunch of cans into your crock pot.
Yes. So this is very simple. We've got they've got cannellini beans. So really any type of white bean would work. One can is actually going to get pureed. If you don't have a food processor or a blender, what you can do is just take like a potato masher or a fork and just kind of mash them up in there.
It helps to thicken it.
Yes, it gives a little bit more creaminess to it. And then you've got some tomatoes, you've got an onion, a poblano pepper in there. We have some corn. And then the only thing I don't have on display, because I used it all, is we have 3 cups of kale shredded up in there.
I would never guess that.
Yes. So
but, and there's some green, which always looks nice as well, right?
Yep.
That's really good.
It's going to give you kind of that benefit, but it doesn't have the sharp bite that raw kale sometimes has. So you just put it all in here, put it on high for 3 hours, and then we also have, I forgot, quinoa that goes in here as well. Yep. And you don't have to cook it beforehand. It just cooks kind of in the broth.
Look how thick it is. It's really nice. I really think it's delicious. And the quinoa, it just kind of tastes like a little, it just is a thickener.
Yeah.
Like maybe like the rice part or something.
I was going to say, it tastes like kind of like chicken wild rice soup. Quinoa looks like that too.
Now we're going to come across the table for some other things. Yeah. Do you find that a lot of your customers do like the tofu or not?
I would not say a lot.
Yeah.
I would say the people that eat it like it. I just think people they don't usually try it, is what I would say. If it is made properly and you have it in a good dish, or you can order at a restaurant where you know someone is going to make it well.
What the heck is it?
It tastes
soy,
really
right?
good. It's soy, yep.
Soy.
So it's a kind of a soybean paste, which obviously doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
But it can be, we were kind of talking earlier, it takes on the flavor of kind of whatever you put with it.
You notice she didn't take it out of the box. She doesn't want us to really see it.
Yeah, so it can be cubed, it can be firm, it can be silken is what they call it, if you can kind of like scramble it up like eggs. But it is going to have a good amount of protein from that soy, and then it's also a really good source of iron, which you miss out on if you are not eating red meat specifically.
It's good in a lot of Asian food.
Yes.
You know, they chop it up and
saute it, kind of have all those sauces with it.
It tastes like everything else, like the good sauce.
Just kind of mixes in.
Okay, so here's our quinoa.
Quinoa,
and more beans.
Yeah, so quinoa is special because it is one of 2 plant-based sources that have all of our essential amino acids. So if you like soy, like tofu, that's great. But if you don't, quinoa would be a great grain to add to things because you don't have to pair it necessarily with anything else to get the right amount of amino acids and protein.
It's small. You have
Very
a red
little.
one over there. Yeah, I'll put that on camera so we can show. So this is like the golden kind, and then this is red.
Yep, and nutritionally they're going to be pretty much the exact same. It's just kind of the color if you want it to look like I put the red in the soup because I thought it looked better, but they're going to taste similar and they're going to be nutritionally very similar as well.
It's good.
Yeah.
And that's the word still some people can't pronounce, right?
Yes, yep, I hear
Quinoa.
So many fun ways to pronounce the word quinoa.
It's quinoa. And then more beans,
Yep.
A friend of mine went vegan for a while, and I went to her house. I never ate so many beans in my life. That's all we had, beans and vegetables.
Yep.
I needed a steak after that. But anyway.
Beans are unique because they are very high in protein and fiber. Usually, like vegetables are high in fiber, they've got no protein. Meat is high in protein, it has no fiber, so beans are unique in that they have both. So they're just a great thing to add into things, to have on the side, and you can get them canned or you can get them dried too.
What do you think is the best? I see there's no salt added to these. Do you like it just to open a can, or we have to soak our beans, right?
Honestly, I just do the canned, just because soaking the beans is a long time.
I know.
if you have the time, they're cheaper usually in the bag, and it's not hard. It's just remembering the night before to set them out, to soak them. Go through all of that.
Do you have the recipe for your soup?
Yeah, that's going to be on Hy-Vee.com.
Okay.
Yep. And that, it's, again, super easy. Just kind of throw everything in the crock pot. You're good to go.
So we're going to talk fish in your next segment. I'm looking forward to that because you have a good tilapia recipe in the oven. Yeah. And this is tasty. Because we still have some cool chilly days to go.
I know, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. Katie, thank you. We'll see you in a little bit.
See ya.